What's going on, guys? One love out to everybody. We got UFC Fight Night, De Ridder versus Allen. Predictions breakdown here, guys. Before I get started, guys, hit the thumbs up button. Also subscribe to his channel, guys. This will help me to make more videos, get my videos out, so get more views on them. So it's not easy to do these prediction videos and do the homework and break down and everything, watching videos and doing like the social media part of it also. Check out to see what these guys are doing. So if you could just leave a thumbs up, leave some comments here and there, it'd be great too. All right. This card is over there in Vancouver, British Columbia in Canada. 13 fights in the card, 4 p.m. Eastern, depending on region you're in. Also, subscribe to my Patreon account, guys, if you can, for face-off prediction and prop plays. Also, you can leave a donation to my PayPal account. That's also helpful too. And also check out Wayne Gaethje for more health and wellness. You're looking to lose weight, change your lifestyle around, to keep in shape. You can check out Wayne Gaethje, or the links will be down below. All right. 13 fights on this card here, guys, and this one is the next tricky one, like the last card we had there. Yeah, this one is pretty tough here, guys. Just being honest with you, like I'm always is. From the breakdown and predictions, it's just very close, man. I can see probably a lot of the Canadians losing, which sometimes happen. If you guys remember a couple of the Canadian cards, a lot of the Canadians usually drop the ball. So this could happen, but it could not. But it all depends on, it all depends on what happened once you match them up. The styles make fights, so anything could happen here, guys. Nothing guaranteed when it comes to these kind of things here. Dealing with two people here are gonna meet up and gonna throw hands down, and it just all depends, when they're clashing together, anything could happen, man, and depends if they're came into the fight injured, depends on how prepared they were, they make weight, just the mental state, everything plays a factor. So it's not just punching and kicking, it's also the mental aspect of it too, that plays a lot. If you ain't mentally on, then you ain't physical. So that's a huge part of it. So we're going to jump into this real quick here, guys. RDR was supposed to fight Anthony Henderson, but he fell off the card. I think he's injured. So they replaced it with Brandon Allen. So that's actually a good matchup there too. All right. Like I said, guys, I'm never going to judge any card and say, oh, this card is sucks, whatever. I'm never going to say that about anybody or anything. We don't judge anything, by the cover, no book by the cover, nothing like that. These guys go in there and put the work in. And like I said, man, if you understand the sport or anything you're doing in life, once you put the work in, and you reap the benefits, what I'm saying, all that work you put in is not easy, it depends on what you're doing. You got to grind, you got to hustle, you got to bust your ass. It just depends on what you're doing. It's not easy. A lot of these guys here, what makes this not easy is they're putting their health on the line. They're putting their health on the line, dude. I mean, that they can go in there and then lose their life. Yep. You can get CTE, brain damage. You can break bones, break ribs. You can blow out the knees, blow out the back. Brain damage. So it ain't easy to go in there. So love to everybody here, man. All right. First fight here, guys, we got Melissa Croden versus Taira Lisboa. Melissa Canadian, eh? Melissa here, just write my notes here, guys, reading from the notes. She likes the clinch, likes to throw a lot of knees in the clinch, 100% finishing rate. Loves to be against the cage, keeps the fight real tight. Keeps it like dirty style, like dirty boxing with she threw the uppercuts in the clinch and definitely throw the knees. She loved the knees. Her height and reach can be kind of heavy on the front foot at times, but from what I see from her, she's not bad, and she's been improving from her from her earlier fights. Fought Jacqueline Cavalcanti, lost the decision, which is Jacqueline Cavalcanti doesn't look bad right now, so that's not a bad loss. She's actually on a 4-5 winning streak in the UFC. Other organization, she's on 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, or 7. Right, so she's not looking too bad. Her opponent here, Lisboa, Lisboa, she's more kickboxing, fought more, you know, like, I would say she's more of a seasoned kickboxer here. You know, she fought like Valentino way back in the days, fought her twice actually, back to back, Muay Thai and in kickboxing. But, man, she had a bad knee injury, man. Bad knee injury. It was pretty much, it seems that a knee injury could have caused her to retire. You know, they were telling her that she may not be able to fight no more, right? Yeah, man. I don't know. Whenever I see like knee injuries and all these things, she was out for like a year. Whenever you see knee injuries, they came back and fought Santos. It didn't look too good in that fight. She got submitted in the second round. Whenever you see anything about knee injury, your lower back and these things like that, man, it's never good, man. You never really look the same, especially when it's a serious knee injury. You know, like with Figueiredo, his knee injury didn't need no surgery. Lisboa needed surgery, and I believe that's the second time on that knee. So it's a consistent thing. But she's a seasoned striker, you know. Could be the quicker fighter here. We'll also look for the submissions. Can get submitted, can get taken down. Sometimes struggles on the ground, but overall she's a more seasoned fighter, man. But you know, having the knee injuries and all these things, and I don't know, it's just whenever I see that, it's just kind of like a, you know, it's like a kind of like a turn off, because it's like it's she's not coming there. I mean, obviously the knee is probably working right now. It's good, but to what level, you know? So, you know, I'm going to go with Melissa. I'm going to say Melissa Croden by decision, guys. And with Melissa, I feel the frame of Melissa could be slightly bigger. I feel it could be a strength advantage. But again, Lisboa is more seasoned striker here. But Croden also can also strike. And Croden, I believe, is a brown belt in BJJ. Will also look for takedowns. I believe Lisboa also has a ground game also. But, you know, but I'm going to go with Melissa here, guys. It's a Melissa by decision, all right? I'm not confident, especially with women fights. I can always say, can't be confident in that, man. Next fighter, we got Aiemann Zahabi versus Yousri Belgaroui. Aiemann here, this guy's pretty well rounded, man. Coming out of ATT, like we always say, I say this all the time. If you watch my videos, ATT, these guys are well trained. They train you specifically to beat that opponent, to find a weakness, you know, in that opponent. It could be in not having a ground game. So this guy's pretty well rounded, so he can take it anywhere. His striking it's okay, but he is hittable. Can get flash knockdowns. He can get put on his butt. He get hit by a strike and get knocked down. Very aggressive guy. A lot of forward pressure. There's a fight where he fought Dylan Boudica, and that fight was pretty close, man. I think that Boudica actually could have won that, but Boudica gave him a rough time in that fight. You know, I believe he knocked him down in the first round or second round. Kind of back and forward. He was able to get the takedowns, but not as much. He was getting tired in the fight. But like I said, this guy has the wrestling, so he's gonna push wrestling. He's gonna grind with the wrestling. He's gonna, you know, pretty much put you against the cage and go for takedown. But he does get tired though. Let me see here. If he's unable to take down Yousri, he's gonna be in problems. He has to take down Yousri in this fight. Has to take him down. If he can't take him down, he's screwed. Because what I see from Yousri, remember this guy was on the Contender Series, but I believe he had some Lyme disease or something. Like, you know, he wasn't well when he fought in Contender against Marco. Remember in that fight, he wasn't really doing much, you know, because he wasn't well, right? Just like how Alex Pereira wasn't well either. And he came back and showed that he wasn't well in the fight, and then he came back and win a real quick finish, right? This guy here is a kickboxer, seasoned kickboxer, trains with Alex Pereira, beat Alex Pereira one time, I believe. No, fought Alex Pereira 3 times, beat him once. Fought Izzy twice. So this guy is pretty good, man. Like I said, he had Lyme disease when he was in the Contender Series, and he actually went back on Contender Series and even won a fight. So the second time in Contender Series against this guy called Taja Iwaski, and he finished him by punches. This guy's number 5 inch of height and 7 inch of reach. I put here sometimes he doesn't pull the trigger, but that's what I saw from Contender Series against Marco. But he does pull the trigger, though. He just wasn't well. He was sick in that fight. So what I see from him, he has improved, dude. His ground game has improved. His striking was always there, training with Teixeira and Alex Pereira. He has improved, bro. His ground game looks pretty good. From his last couple fights here, that he had, his ground game was pretty impressive, man. Again, some decent guys stopping the takedown. The guys wasn't able to take him down. Quick on the movement, timing, speed, and precision. His striking is on point, dude. This guy is on point, man. If Asmat is unable to take him down, Asmat going to be in problems. Problems, dude. Because this guy's going to piece up Asmat on the foot, dude. Believe me, I tell you that. With the reach and the height, I tell you this. And what I see from Yousri, even from the earlier kickboxing matches, and I said the guy has improved in MMA. If Asmat doesn't grind and take him down, which that's going to be the game plan, definitely going to be the game plan. They're going to look to this wrestle. This guy, Yousri, is going to piece him up with strikes, dude. I guarantee you on that. He's a very, very elusive striker. Athletic, very explosive, and good time and striking, bro. This is a bigger cage also. So it's going to favor Yousri to move around, have more room to move. And Asmat going to have to grind. And Asmat does get tired. I'm going to push towards Yousri, guys. I like what I see from Yousri. He has improved. I like the improvements, even though he said he was sick, which I believe that. But I see from Asmat is decent. He's well-rounded, but the striking is not on the level of Yousri. And the reach and the height is freaking massive. And coming from ATT, like I always said, the ATT guys are always prepared, but what I see from Yousri, takedown defense has just been looking like very, very good, dude. Like he's stopping takedowns like quick. Like the guy timing, everything is good. Remember when you're striking like that and you can move your legs quick because of the kickboxing background, it's having that striking background. It's sometimes hard to get the guy's hips because they're always in the movement, always putting the legs behind them. So you have to hustle a little harder. I'm liking Yousri. Yousri by decision. Could even be a finish, guys. Believe me, I'll tell you that. But anything is possible, though. Like I said, if Asmat able to get him down, then it is what it is. Asmat is experienced in MMA, but Yousri is also experienced in kickboxing. Very, very, very highly experienced. He just needs to work on the ground, and it seems like he has. So let's see what happens, man. Yousri by decision, 50-50. I'm not confident. Next fight, we got Stefan Luciano versus Rayvon Oliveira. Stefan here, she can get taken down in the fights from what I see, but looks to strike, has potential. But both women are still kind of green, man. I mean, to be honest with you. We lost a split decision against Sam Hughes, but that could have went either way whenever you see split. Again, it's a woman fight here, guys. Raven, she fought, I believe, Lisboa, went to decision with Vervana here. She's a heavy striker. More will look to take her head off there and knock you out. Pat more power than Stefan does. But she gets really sloppy though. Chin being high up in the air, hands flaring. Let me see here. She will look for takedowns in this fight, but both women are just still kind of greenish. She's, like I said, she's a heavy hitter, but she's also hittable. Just she has a lot more holes. Her chin high, very explosive when she kicks her hands down. Just a lot of things that need some work still. So I'm going to go with Stephanie. I'm going to say Stephanie by decision, guys. But like I said, with women fights and the guys too, but mostly women, just nothing to be confident in like that. Nothing guaranteed because you can go either way, So these women are still kind of greenish, man. It's not like a Chichenko, or like a Holly Holm or something like that, or there's that one, or Amanda Nunes. Those high level women fighters. It's different, or Chris Cyborg. You know what I'm saying? I mean, no disrespect to these women. It's just they're still learning still. So Stephanie, I got by decision, but I'm not confident. Next fight here, we got Kyle Prepolec versus Drew Dober. Prepolec here, obviously home favorite in Canada. So you gotta be careful of that. Every region, man, have his little thing, you know, when your hometown, you know. So if it's Canada, Brazil, China, wherever, even America, wherever it is, dude, they will favor the fighters to win, man, and they will rig it, you know, where for judges, if they go judges, and they get them splits. So be careful of that. And sometimes a huge robber too. Prepolec here, he would look to strike, man. Has experience. The guy's a veteran. Was in the UFC way back. He took a fight on short notice though, which, you know, more short notice fights, again short notice, you know, most of the time you win and sometimes you can lose. Against Dennis, and he lost. It was a short notice, very short notice fight. So, you know, losing against Dennis is not a bad loss. So Dennis is, you know, is a guy that's mentally on, you know, he's durable, gonna come forward, you know, and he has skills. But with Prepolec, he will look to knock you out though, and look for submission. When this guy is on, he's on. Let me see, and he's durable. Never been knocked out or nothing like that, but he's been submitted though. But he can take a hit though and keep on coming forward, dude. He can take a hit and keep coming forward, man. Against Drew Dober though, man, Drew Dober, both are southpaws here, but Drew Dober is, I don't know, I don't like how he's looking lately, dude. Back-to-back knockouts. His knockout against Gene Silva, he was taking a beating in that fight though, in the doctor stoppage. He's just been getting knocked out, you know, usually in the first round and ground and pounded. And then against Manuel Torres here, it was an unanswered strikes, dude. 15 unanswered strikes. 15 unanswered, dude. So he got 15 hits to the head before the ref stopped it. He went way too far. First hit knocked him down, and then after that, he was 14 more. And he never answered. He was holding on to the foot. It's not a good look. And then been sub 4 times, knocked out 4 times, flash knockdowns. He's just not durable no more. He's a guy that used to be durable. He's just not durable no more, dude. Taking too much damage in the fights, man. Has his skills though, you know, heavy puncher. Seems a little slower from what I see. We look for submissions, but can get submitted. It's difficult, man. Unanswered 15 hits to the head, and this was in March, so you know, like 6 months or so, but still, you know, it's just one of those things where, dude, I feel like he's declining, and I feel that Kyle Prepolec is actually improving. I mean, to be honest with you, just took a short notice against Dennis, but his other fights, what I watch, he's been improving. And with Dober, he's just declining. He's getting knocked out real quick. He's not answering by strikes. His reaction time is not there. Like when you don't react like that to shots, you know, it shows that your mind, your brain, there's something up. Your response time is not there no more. Your timing, you know. So, your reaction. I was slightly going for it. Like Dober probably could come in here and win, but damn, dude, he gets touched the jaw, no, he goes down. Gets like flash knockdowns, and that's what happened in his last fight. And then 14 unanswered hits. You know, I'll go with Prepolec, guys. I'm gonna give Prepolec a shot. I say Prepolec by KO TKO in the second round, guys, but I'm not confident. 50-50. This is going to be a full camp for him. So, you know, I mean, the last fight he wasn't a full camp, and he's Canadian, eh? So, just for those reasons, I feel Dober is just declining. He's not. I feel like he's not durable anymore. Kyle is very durable, So Prepolec KO TKO second round. Next fight we got Danny Barlow versus D. Jordan Santos. Danny here is gonna have the 4-inch of reach on him. Relies a lot on that left hand. That's what they call him. The left hand to God. Moving up to 185 from 170. Probably 170 doesn't really work for him. I mean, I could see that the guy's, well, he's moving up to a higher weight. 170 maybe cutting too much weight. You know, when you cut weight like that, you probably can dehydrate. You know, your body can't handle some shots. Got knocked out in the last fight against Sam Patterson, but Sam Patterson is a very experienced guy, seasoned guy actually. Santos here though, I don't know, man. Santos doesn't move his feet. He's on feet. Doesn't move his feet. He's hittable. Kind of walk into shots, but he's durable though. Keep moving forward, but he's hittable, and he fights like he's drunk. So, I mean, he's a guy that was in a contender series that was supposed to lose a contender series against Will Curry. You know, Will Curry was a massive favorite over him. I believe he was a plus 300, and he went in there and then upset. I just feel like he's just too hittable, dude. He's too freaking hittable against Danny with a 4-inch reach, dude. With that left hand, that piston down the pocket. He's too hittable, dude. He's too freaking hittable, bro. And, you know, he had his fight here against Ozzy Diaz. You know, he showed it. Diaz was jabbing him up with the jab. Hitting him with the jab, hitting him with the jab, hitting him with the jab. And I believe Ozzy has a shorter reach. Ozzy had a long reach on him, actually. Ozzy had a 4-inch reach. So this fight could be similar. This guy's going to have a 4-inch reach over him. Just prepare him up with a heavy left hand, straight on the pocket. Got to go with Danny here, man. You know, I just feel like Santos may not be on that level. Again, a guy like Santos also coming from ATT also. So, like I said, ATT will set up a game plan. Maybe come in here and grapple, but there's a speed advantage from Danny. There's just reach, you know, there's just the experience. I feel Danny more experience, you know. I feel that Santos doesn't defend, doesn't move his head off center line. You know what I mean? I got to go with Danny. I said Danny by KO TQ in the third round, guys, because it's 50-50. A lot of these fights it's just 50-50, guys, because a lot of the guys are just newcomers. That's why some people may ask me, man, you know, these fights are confident. You always have it 50-50. I'm like, yeah, man, a lot of these guys are, you know, coming from contender series. You know, you can't be trusted like that. It's just they're still in the process. They're still learning process, dude. You can't be confident in guys that are like 6-2 and 7. You know what I mean? Just hasn't faced anybody. There's no way, man. Like I said, cards like this with these new contender guys coming on is very risky. I got Danny Barlow by KO TQ in the third round. Not confident. Next fighter, we got Bruno Silva versus Hong Song Park. Silva is a very skilled guy, man, and he's well-rounded, you know, but doesn't handle the guys that are fast, twitch, muscle, quick on the movement, sharp striking, precise. You know, he will drop the ball against them. But he fought some tough competitions, though, and beat some tough guys, too, man. So this is not a guy that you take lightly, man. These guys are veteran experience. Losing to Joshua Van and Manon Cape, that's not a bad loss, man, because Joshua Van looking real good about to fight for championship. Manon Cape look real good also, about to fight for championship also. You know what I'm saying? He's losing to guys that are like championship level, you know what I mean? Guys like Tajar Ulabek, David Daruk, you know, kind of fell off. He believes in the UFC no more. Yeah, but he's still good though. He's still in a 2 fight, you know. But yeah, man. Park here. What I see from Park skill. He's a prospect. The issue with Park, what I notice, he would look for the sub, look for knockouts. Hands are not bad. Against Tahara though, on short notice, you know what I mean. He was on that card with Tahara, so it's not like he wasn't prepared for a fight. I think they just switched the fights around. So I think he was supposed to fight. I could be wrong about that though. Am I wrong about that? I could be wrong about that. I think he was supposed to be Amir. Oh yeah, and then Park came in on short notice. So I'm not sure. I thought that Park was supposed to be on the card. And then, you know, so maybe, you know, so yeah, so maybe just a short notice. Like I said, most of the guys are on short notice. Sometimes, you know, they don't do as well, you know, because they're not prepared, right? But, you know, I see some short notice guys that are prospects that can hang. You know, and with Tahara, he just never showed nothing. I don't think he even touched Tahara or punched him or take him down. Nothing, kick him or nothing like that. Nothing happened, you know. It's not a bad loss because Tahara is high level, but you know, it's more of a lesson for him. Like I said, you don't really lose anything because you versus you, but I'm always skeptical against the road to UFC guys though, and that's the thing I really want to say. I'm skeptical against the road because these guys coming from the road to UFC. Anytime I see that road to UFC, you know, it's like one of those things where it's kind of like tough though. You know what I mean? Even the contender series, dude. It's like, I don't know. You know what I mean? He just can't be trusted, man. But most of the road to UFC, those guys can't be trusted, man. And what I see for him against Taira, he could have done a little better, man. He got knocked down real quick. He just looked like he just, I don't know, like, you know, he just didn't look like a prospect. You know, he didn't give any resistance, you know what I mean? A guy like Bruno Silva, you know, he has to come better than that. Because Bruno Silva will finish him, will submit him or knock him out, dude. Because that's such experience, dude. And Bruno Silva is losing his fights because he's losing the fights against top guys. So what I want to say, I'm liking Bruno Silva, dude. I'm going to go with Bruno Silva. I'll say Bruno Silva by KO TKO by second round. But I'm not confident because Bruno Silva had some tough matches. Took a lot of beating in the fights, man. Against Van and Cape. Took a lot of beating, and that was in June. December of 2024, which is not so bad, but in June, he's coming back. You know what I mean? It's just, took a lot of damage, you know what I mean? But, I don't know, man. I just feel like Silva, you know, has the, you know, heart of a lion, just the experience. Also is a durable guy still. I just feel Park just, I don't know, I feel like Park can just break under the pressure, dude. You know what I mean? If he doesn't go his way. So if he hits, you know, if he hits Bruno Silva with some punches and nothing happened and he can't get Bruno Silva out of there, then what Park's going to look like? Exactly. I like Silva by KO TKO second round, guys. Next fighter, we got Charles Jourdain versus Davey Grant. Charles Jourdain, he moved down to 135, right? I believe. And he's a guy that's kind of a hit or miss, dude. He's not consistent. So kind of hard to gauge him, you know. Will have holes too in his striking. His striking is not bad, but he has holes in his ground game. He will look to submit you. He will definitely try to submit you. But he's not consistent, man. But he's quick though, and he's game. Against Davey Grant though, man, Davey Grant is always freaking on, bro. He's a skilled veteran, dude. Seasoned kickboxer. And will also look for the submission. Can get submitted and can get robbed. So, like I always say, the Daniel Marcos, he actually won that. Adrian Yanis, he actually won that too. So, you know, but he can get submitted though, but hasn't been submitted in a while. But he has some good wins, man. You know, beat some good prospects. And guys that he should have lost to. You know, the guy, Jonathan Martinez, he finished in the second round. I just don't trust Charles Jourdain, dude. Even though he's from Canada, but it's just there's a matchup. I know, you know, Grant is 39, you know, go by age or whatever, you know. Age a number though, because we see Grant in there, you know, he's taking out these younger guys. You know, the guys are like 30, you know, like 9 years, 10 years, you know. Younger than him, you know, them and Blackshaw, all these guys he taking out are younger, or you know, but age a number though, so it all depends on your skill set and your mental and how you take care of your health. I gotta push for Grant, dude. I can't sleep on Grant because Grant don't really let me down. With Charles Jourdain, he would drop the ball, dude. Even though Charles Jourdain is gonna be the quicker fighter in here, I just can't trust him, dude. He would start out good and then kind of fade along the way. But again, it's Canada A. So in Canada, you know what happened? He will go split and Jourdain get it. So this fight here is an even fight, like most of the fights on the card should be. So it wouldn't be worse thing to, you know, do something with Jourdain too. It depends on what you're doing, parlay, whatever you're doing. It wouldn't be the worst thing because, like I said, it could be robbery because they like to rob Grant too. Just being if it's close fight and it goes decision, I have it by decision. But if a close fight and it goes decision and it's very close, they rob it. Of course. I mean, why not, right? Exactly. Next fighter, we got Kyle Nelson versus Matt Frevola. This one here is a tricky one too, man. Kyle Nelson here didn't look good in his last fight, man. Against Steve Garcia, but Steve Garcia is a tough dude, and this guy, Steve Garcia, is like a next guy that's been looking real good, and he's like up there for championship level. But Kyle Nelson just didn't look good in the fight. He likes to slow down the fight though, where it benefits him. You know what I mean? But I believe he's like trying to be a firefighter now. from what I see from Instagram and social media. That's why sometimes it's good to look at the social media to see what these guys are doing. They have a next child coming, which is good thing for him. Congrats to him on his next child coming. But maybe, with everything going on, he's trying to find a different, he's trying to work, be a firefighter until that. Maybe his mind ain't too much in it, like it should, because when you're doing these kind of games and you're going out there fighting, sometimes it's good to focus only on this alone. You put your mind only on this. You're not working or nothing like that, because like I said, man, it's a thing where you got to put your energy all in it, man. You got to make sure you're resting, you're eating properly, you're training, and just rinse and repeat consistently, going to jobs and stuff and working 9 hours, 10 hours. Sometimes it's just too much, That's why a lot of these guys get sponsorships where they don't have to work like that, just focus on the game. As far as Matt Frevola, man, took a nasty knockout in his last fight there, man. I think he took a year off of that. That probably took a year off of him too. Against Zaim, that nasty knee was bad, man. But he's skilled though, as a guy that come in there and he would put it down, But he will also, he will slow down in the fight, dude. This fight is a tough one to pick, because it's like, I'm looking at this like, is Kyle Nelson mind in it? Is he really putting in the work like he should? And is Matt, is he durable? I know this is not probably durable anymore, really, because he's been getting knocked out consistently. That's like his second knockout. Against Denise, it was a head kick, then a knee. So it's kind of like, these guys are not durable, been taking a lot of damage. I was kind of going for Kyle, but I switched back to Matt. It's a tough one to choose, Matt is still a dangerous guy. We'll come in there and wrestle and grind, and we'll put the hands in you, we'll put a pace in you. I just don't feel Kyle is in there, like his mental state. He's trying to do all different things. So I'm gonna go with Matt. I'm gonna say Matt by decision, guys, but I'm not confident. 50-50. Again, Kyle is from he's from Canada, so what happened with that. So there goes decision. It could be split Robert. All right, but Matt by decision. Next fight, we got Cody Gibson versus Richie Lang. Cody here. Cody is skilled, around the experienced guy, used to be in the UFC. But it's a guy that will drop the ball, will slow down in later rounds. Will come into the first round, put a high pace, and look to submit you real quick. Usually try to get a submission in the first round. Richie Lang, more of a striker, more bite down, let his hands go. Will also look to take you down, man. And he's durable. So with Cody, we can see that Cody can get taken down, even though he has a wrestling background, but you can take him down. And Richie Lang will push the takedowns, dude. This is a fight here where I'm not sure on, guys, because I feel like Richie Lang could push that pace in later round and beat Cody. So I'm pushing for Cody though, but I'm not confident in it. So I say Cody by decision, guys, but zero confident, because like I said, Richie Lang will push the takedowns and does hit heavy, does throw heavy leg kicks as well. So it's a fight where I'll be very careful with, but Gibson by decision. Next fighter, we got Manon Fiorot. We got Manon Fiorot versus Jasmine Jozovic, John J. Manon here. Manon is skilled, very strategic kickboxer, movement, very good, improved ground. Went to decision against Chechenko, which I had Chechenko winning that. It's just Valentina is, like I said, when it's like Amanda Nunes, Valentina Chechenko, He's just, it's those women are seasoned, dude. Alice Gracio, just look at her record. She's only losing to like Amanda Nunes, dude. Some losses back here against Luis Carmouche, but look at her kickboxing record, dude. Like flawless, bro. Holy crap, dude. She has a lot of kickboxing matches too. She has a lot of freaking kickboxing matches, B. Damn. She been fighting for a minute, man. 2003. This is epitome of a martial artist, bro. If you want to know a martial artist, I'm also a martial artist too. I'll give myself credit as well. Martial artist is not just fighting in a cage for trophies and money, dude. It's a way of life, and she's the epitome of that. You can see, she really put that on her. You can tell by her body, her physique, her health. She take care of herself, dude. Because it's not just about, I'm not competing no more. It's time to eat some donuts and get wasted, sniff some cocaine and get a big ass belly. and just look sloppy and don't train for like years. Oh, you got a fight coming up. Oh, I gotta go train now. No, man. Come on, man. That's not martial arts, man. That's not martial arts is a way of life. But Shido, you know what I'm saying? The way of the warrior. You know, we every day we do something. Doesn't have to be every day intense, like high intensity, but we do something. It could be running, walking. It could be just shadow boxing. It could be doing push-ups. Could be doing some weapons, stretching, Tai Chi, Wing Chun, whatever it is that consists of being doing the martial arts. We practice, you know, the flow. You know, we practice the way. So there is no like, you know, it's pretty much like talking or walking. That's what I'm trying to get to. So Valentina has that, dude, and she's up. I would say she's one of the best. You know. So yeah. So. And Manon went to decision, and Manon had a little way in there, you know, it was taking her down, you know, but it's just striking for Shevchenko, that kind of had her a little bit. Against Jasmine, though, Jasmine has a wrestling background, still needs improvement with her striking, though, man. She's hittable, head is there to get hit, flat-footed. She wants to sit down and then let her hands go, right? Let me see here. She struggles against women with fast twitch muscle, quick at the movement, like Manon, like Tatiana Silva, Tatiana Silva, Natalia Silva. Sorry about that, guys. I was going through every single fighter's name, man. Tracy Cortez, who's also fast with the twitch muscle. Even Elise Reed has a karate background. Fast twitch muscle, she's only too good because she wants to sit down and bite down and throw. And, you know what I mean? You can't do that with women who are seasoned strikers like Manon, you know, Shevchenko and these, you know, and like Silva and these women like that, because they're going to piece you up. They're going to tear you apart in there, man. And like I said, with Jasmine, she will look for the takedown, but Manon takedown defense has been looking good. You know what I'm saying? As we can see, even with Shevchenko, you know, sometimes had a hard time taking her down. Erin wasn't able to take her down. Rose, now it's the same thing. You know, so her ground game has improved. But the thing about this fight, though, Jasmine has never lost in Canada. So that's the thing, man. So, has never lost in Canada. All the fights she win, you know, it's pretty much in Canada. You know what I'm saying? Like, she's not losing. So, this could be a fight where, you know, you could play around with it. Like I said, and it's a woman fight. So, you got to be very careful. But I'm like Manon Fiorot because of movement and elusiveness to keep the fight where she needs to keep it moving in and out and laterally and landing her strikes at will. Jasmine is going to throw her punches and flat-footed with her chin there to get hit. And we'll just stick her hands out to get the takedowns, kind of reach. Sometimes she will shoot, but Manon is going to touch her up, I feel. So I got Manon by decision. I say 60-40. Yeah, guys, 60-40 on this one. It's a woman fight, like I said, with woman fight, you can't be too confident. But like I said, when you're dealing with women like Shevchenko, even Manon, these women are skilled, though. If she went decision with Shevchenko usually finishes you, either submission or knock you out. If you can go to decision, you know, it's good. You know what I'm saying? It shows, you know. So Manon hang with her, was getting touched up in the fight and hang. But it's a fight, like I said, Jasmine has never lost in Canada. So she just needs to get the takedowns, and she can score takedowns for a second, then she pretty much win the fight by the Canada rules, by being in Canada, by the rules of Canada. You know, she probably won the fight on the judge's scorecard, you know, by a split decision. So she just needs to score some takedowns, put her against the cage and take her down. That's it for a second round or a third round. It just depends on how much, you know, which round she do it in. But I guarantee she score takedowns. They're gonna score her the round because she's Canadian and she wins all the time in Canada. So be careful with that one. But I got Manon Fiorot by decision. Next fight we got Marlon Vera versus Aiemann Zahabi. Vera here is a veteran dude, skilled guy. Can be slow with the movement, not much volume, slow starter. But when he's on though. Usually on the later rounds, in the second, coming to the third, he's on. If it's a 5 round, then it's different. Can get taken down. We look for submissions. Striking is pinpoint. You know, when he's on and if he lets it go, that's the issue. You know, sometimes he tends not to let it go, dude. Zahabi is hungry. Zahabi is hungry, man. I don't feel Vera is as hungry as Zahabi. Zahabi is hungry, dude. He's been over Jose Aldo. Dude, he's hungry, bro. He's very technical. He can look kind of awkward at times, but once I start to watch him more and I see what he's doing, he's technical. Very tactical in there. You look to the openings, pick his shots, move in certain ways, kind of throw you off, push forward, put a little pressure on you. He knows when to back out, keeps it off center line. Knows when to put more pressure on you, especially against Jose Aldo. Jose Aldo look at the clock. He said, "Oh, you're looking at the clock. You're tired, huh?" Then he started to just unload pressure on you. Let me see here. But he's a guy that he's very tactical and will find a win, dude. And his brother, obviously, is in his corner. It's George St. Pierre and all those guys. About George St. Pierre. These guys are, it's like a legend. Skill, you want to say a legend. I like to use words a legend, dude, because this is an illusion. The guy is just skilled in the sport. He just, the way how they train is very tactical. It's very technical training and the skill. The mental, the IQ is good. I'm saying they know how to get the wins. And against Vera is going to be in there kind of slow. No, it's not going to work. Against Zahabi, you got to put a lot of pressure. Vera going to be slow like that, slow, and just not throwing nothing. Then Zahabi's fight IQ is going to kick in and just touch him up, touch him here, touch him there, touch him here, touch him there, and get a decision. And he's in Canada, and he's massive in Canada. TriStar Gym, huge in Canada. This guy is like, I'm going to use superstar, I guess, which is an illusion again. He's huge in Canada. I love him in Canada. It's kind of like Charles Oliveira in Brazil or Aldo in Brazil. All right? There you go. So this is like, if it goes to decision, most likely Zahabi going to win it by split. Okay? So I got Zahabi by decision, guys. All right? Next fight, we got Kevin Holland versus Mike Malott. Holland here is going to have the massive 8-inch of reach, which is freaking massive, guy. Experienced Holland. But he will drop the ball, though, guy. He looked better at 170, though, obviously. Because, higher weight, 185, this is just not his weight. The guys are bigger over there. The guys are going to ragdog him like RDR. Ramon de Alonso, even though it was a rib injury. But, again, that weight dropping on top of him, he's trying to wiggle his way out, pop a rib. Because the guy isn't way too much. He's guy too heavy. That plays a factor. Skills play a factor, but also the weight difference. If the guy is skilled with more weight, can play an issue, of course. But Holland will drop the ball, though, man. That's the thing, man. He will look good, and he gets caught, and then he just, I don't know. And sometimes he'll hang in there and pull off a win and get a submission. But the guy is skilled. The guy rangy and skilled. Mike Malott has the skills, man. He will slow down, though. He will slow down. If he goes in there and go real hard in the first, he will gas out like he did with Neil Magny, which Neil Magny does that to everybody. All the prospect, Neil Magny wins, right? So it's one of those things where he could finish Holland. He could catch Holland with a punch. He will throw a punch and land it. He even will look for submissions too, because this guy's pretty well rounded also. But this fight here is kind of tough because I'm going to push more on Holland experience here. I can't believe I'm picking Holland in this one, bro. I'll push for Holland, man, for the reach, the experience of Holland. But, man, dude, just can't trust Holland, man. So it's a fight where it's like a heads or tail, guys. It's like, flip the quarter and see where it lands at. But I would definitely, whatever you're doing, play both sides, man, or fade it or whatever. But I feel like Holland has the experience to beat Malott. And Malott does gas out. It depends. And that's a reach. If Holland can keep it long, he can win here, man. But again, he can also lose. So I got a Holland by KOTK in the second round. 50-50. Definitely. All right. Main fight on the card, we got RDR versus Brandon Allen, which is a good matchup. Brandon Allen is short notice, though. So, yep. RDA, man. Or RDA. RDR. This guy actually surprised me, man. Because I never really know much about him until he came to UFC. But I thought he was like, oh, yeah, this guy, Like I said, I'm not judging, though, guys. From what I've seen him, against how he look against GM3, I was like, oh, man, this guy's like, striking is just not that good. But he makes it work for him, though. And the thing about him, he's mentally there. His mind is good. And he's durable. And that's the thing. He can take a licking and keep on ticking. And what he did to Robert Whittaker, I mean, that just proved it, bro. I mean, he said split, but I felt that he won that pretty clear. I mean, Robert Whittaker is my boy, but I felt he won that more than a split. It was just a unanimous decision, dude. I feel Ridder was landing knees on point, was touching up. Even Robert Whittaker at times, you know, with the jab, he was taking him down. You know what I mean? I said never judge a book by the cover, though. You know, and never underestimate your opponent. But he makes his striking work for him, though. I mean, I must say, man, he's kind of sloppy, you know, at times. But he will leap in with that knee, follow up with the punch and clinch. And then once he's in the pocket or in the clinch, he works well in there. Like, he understands the in-game well. Outside game, you can tell his punches are not thrown properly, especially when the overhand cross or the jab. The jab not so bad, but when he throws in combination, you can tell that he's losing power in the punches. It's like no power behind him. But the knees is good though. And his ground game, his ground strikes, and just to finish you by submission, this guy's pretty good, man. Allen on the other hand, Allen is skilled, and he will look to submit you. His striking is going to be better than Ridder as far as technicality. You know, setting up the strikes from the outside, just it looks better, right? But Allen will drop the ball though, man. There's a next guy that will just like, he will have the fight and he'll be striking and looking good, and he just goes for takedown or fall for takedown and then get reversed. He does it a lot. Can't do that with Ridder, dude. I feel that's more like a mental thing, you know, and just I just feel Ridder has the more mental, which is going back to IQ and just toughness too. I feel Allen would break under pressure, dude. And that's the thing about this fight. I feel he'd break under pressure. I feel Ridder is just, you know, some people just have that dog, that fight in them. May not look the best standing up, I guess, but whatever they're good at, which is BJJ's his thing. That's what he's good at, his submission games, and be able to can close the distance. And he can use, he's a big dude, and he can use a knee and a punch to get in. And when he hits you with those, it hurts. It take the window to you, especially to the body. If you want to take the window of somebody, you work the body. That will wear them out along the rounds go by. You hit the body, consistently work the body, you break the body down. Just like you work the legs, you work the calves, you break it down. Hit to the head, yeah, you know, you can get the person out, but the body, that will freaking take you out. Going a long shot, right? Going long distance. Eventually, you will crumble, just like kicking the calf and stuff like that. But I'm liking RDR, man. I like RDR, man. I feel like he's mentally on. You can just tell, like, it's just his energy. I get RDR by submission in the third round. It could be also a rear naked choke, guys. So Ridder, submission in the third round by rear naked choke. Am I confident in this? Not really, because like I said, with Allen striking does look better, but again, Robert Whittaker has better striking too. You know what I mean? Yeah, so it's like 7 to 8 inches. I think both of them are pretty much in the same reach advantage, right? I think the Ridder could have maybe like 4 inch reach. Yeah, Ridder has like 3 inch reach on him. Yeah. Against Whittaker, I think Whittaker was way smaller in that fight. I mean, you could tell. Whittaker probably like a 73 inch reach or something like that. Whittaker had a 73 inch reach. Is way. The reach advantage from Ridder was massive. And yeah, I could tell. You know, he just hitting him from way out. It wasn't the best jab, but he was catching him. And when he leaps in, that knee was already, doesn't even have to be close. That knee was already right up in his rib, right near the liver. So, yeah, I'm liking Ridder. I'm going to say Ridder by submission, third round, by rear naked choke, guys. All right? Quick look at the odds here, guys. See what we're working with. These crazy odds. Crazy odds. Yeah, let's get it, mate. Let's get it, mate. Yeah, man. we're looking at here. Where is that? Where is that? Crazy odds here. Let's check these crazy odds. Melissa and Lisboa. Even fight, women fight, no problem. Because this fight here can go either way. It's a fight that you can also fade. Because either one of these women can win. I gave my reasons why. I feel like Lisboa could lose a fight. But, you know, pick your poison there, man. Azmat and Yousri. Damn, Azmat is 2,300. Holy crap, mate. And Yousri, big underdog, huh? Wow. Again, I can see why. You know, Azmat ATT, the guy's well trained, but he is hittable. He's hittable, and sometimes he gets tired. Well, most of the fights I see when the guy is competitive against him, he gets tired and doesn't really get the takedowns as much, and then he's hittable. Can get knocked down, get hurt. Against Yousri, that's a dude where, you know, you don't want to get hit too much by him because he will finish you. Because he's a seasoned striker, dude. And like I said, Yousri has improved. Like I said, I do homework on these guys. I'm not just picking him because, oh, the guy's tall with long reach. I'm picking him by watching his older fights, recent fights too, before, you know, after the Contender Series, and I look and see he was sick in the Contender Series. Like, oh, shoot, really? And when I see how he's performing and he's training with Alex Pereira, working the ground and everything, I'm like, nah, man. And when I look at Azmat and watch his, you know, his older fights against people that shouldn't, you know, put him to split decision, like Budka and those guys, it's just not a good look. So I like Yousri. Do what you want on that one, though. Oliveira and Luciano. Luciano 300 and something? Nah, man, that's nuts. This is just as even as Melissa. Actually, the same even as Melissa and Lisboa. No way Luciano should be this high. No freaking way, dude. No freaking way. This one, nah, man. I like Luciano, but you know, it's 50-50, guys. It's like what I told you. They're green still. They're still learning, man. Because Oliveira could come in here and just put pressure on her. She's very athletic, explosive, and has pack power. Hit harder than what Luciano does. So hell no, man. And you just don't know, you know. Oliveira put that pressure on her and land those punches on her, and then go judges like that, you know, like the power, the hits, just more aggressiveness with power, and Luciano loses. You know what I'm saying? Nah, dude. This one is crazy odds. Judober and Kyle. Judober at 500 and something. Hell no. Kyle Prepolec. That guy is a veteran, dude. Just as skilled as Dober, dude. More durable than Dober. Dober is not durable, dude. And you see from his last fight, 15 unanswered strikes, and he's 500. And in Canada, against a guy, Kyle, who's from Canada, that shown that he's improving, still improving, that has pack power, that car can hit, and he's well-rounded. Nah, bro. No. This one here, no. This one here is crazy, dude. This one's a crazy one. But you do what you want. I'm going to go with Kyle, so. Danny Barlow and Santos. Danny Barlow at 300 and something. I don't see nothing too wrong with that. I just feel like Santos is way too hateable, dude. Even though it's come from ATT, and like, you know, they always make game plans, but I mean, what game plan is Santos gonna do? You know what I mean? If he's flat-footed, that's something where it's a technique skill set that he has gonna have to train into, where he's bouncing in and out, and he doesn't do that. His head is there to get hit. He's slow at the movement. He will over swing with wild shots, but he's eating jabs, and Barlow got that left hand of God. So I like Barlow. I mean, I think the odds is not too bad. Silva and Ho Sung Park, 600, 200 and something. Nah, bro. From Park last fight there, even though it's a short notice, he should have shown a little bit more resistance, a little more, yeah, like, you know, like a little more drive. You know, put up more resistance, dude. You know what I'm saying? Not just go like that. You know, it just doesn't look good. And you're gonna fight Silva, who's experienced, who's skilled, that fight experienced guys. He's gonna have to put up pace and Silva, and if he can't like make Silva like break, he's gonna be in problems. So the odds like this, no, man, no way, bro. The odds in this card is totally off. The odds in here are totally off, guys. Nearly every single fight, except for the Lisboa. The Lisboa and Croden so far is only one. The rest of them is off, from my opinion. Charles Jordan and Grant. This one to me should be more even, guys. So slightly off too, because like I said, Jordan is in Canada, but he'll drop the freaking ball. And what we see from Davey Grant is seasoned striker, mentally on, dude. He's mentally on. Gonna be the slower guy here. Jordan gonna be the quicker guy, but Grant is on, dude. And if Jordan can't take him out or stop him, it could be a problem. So, but again, if it goes to decision, they will rob Grant. So maybe that 170, 180 not looking too bad then if it's going to be a robber, right? So pick your poison there, man. Kyle Nelson and Matt Volo, excellent. You got Matt Volo, I feel he's not that durable. You got Kyle, who looks like his mind is not in it no more. He look like he wants to do different things now, you know, go to different avenues, you know, be firefighter, these things. You know, once you see them start to do that, it means that the heart is not in it no more. And it happens, right? Matt is probably want to prove something here. I got knocked out twice in a row. Come in here and show this guy, man. Show him who's the master. You know what I mean? So, but it's perfect. Richie Lang and Cody. Cody at 170, 163. I'll be careful with this one because Cody will also drop the ball. I like Cody, but he will drop the ball, dude. And Richie Lang has the tools. Can go for a takedown, got the striking, heavy leg kicks, heavy punches. Cody will fade. Cody will break under pressure. But I still like Cody though. I feel Cody can have the edge in here, you know, but I feel Richie Lang could put it on him, man. So the odds are off. It's an even fight. Fiorot and JJ. Fiorot 200 and something. Honestly, I don't see nothing wrong with that. The only thing though I say is that, you know, Jasmine Joseph doesn't lose in Canada. She has never lost. And if she's able to put the fight against the cage, she can dominate in some takedowns, which can sway the judges to give her a split, which is going back to a robbery. So then the Fiorot being 200 will be kind of off. But I feel Fiorot is just a better fighter here, man. So Zahabi and Marlon Vera. Zahabi at 135, almost close to even. I have nothing wrong with that. Like I said, Vera is still a skilled guy, still a dangerous dude. You know, it's just like what I said in my breakdowns there and prediction. It's, you know, a guy like Zahabi hungry. I don't feel Vera's that hungry anymore. And a guy like Zahabi's fight IQ is good. Vera's like he would start out slow and then just kind of lost along the fight. It's like, damn, Vera, are you fighting? Like, what are you doing, dude? It's like, oh yeah, I'm still in here. Okay, hold on. Yeah, I gotta get it back together. And come back in the late second round like a different person. So he just kind of. So yeah, these fight cards can be crazy at times. When you go into the mental aspect, a lot of these guys, the mental trigger everything, guys. So if your mind ain't on, your mind ain't firing, nothing gonna fire. And this goes for everything, not just competition, just your overall life. This is where stress and anxiety and fear also plays a factor. Fighting the demons, man. Kevin Holland and Mike Malott. Close to even fight, which is more sides have it as even. No problem. No problem. Like Vanda would say. No problem. Right? So Holland would definitely drop the person on this card that would definitely drop the ball is Holland, dude. Guaranteed. And Mike Malott will catch him with a punch. It just happens and he goes down and does ground and pound. And Mike Malott win and he's a Canadian, eh? That's how it plays out. So our goes decision, he gets split. So heads or tails. Brandon Allen and RDR. RDR 200 and something. Man, in a kind of way, man, I don't really see nothing wrong with that. But still be careful though, because Allen, like I said, the fight starts standing up. But like I said, Allen would be striking, throwing the jab, following up the body, working some good combinations in there, looking nice. All of a sudden, let me just go for a double leg. It's like, why are you doing that? Or just let me just go for the clinch. It's like, what? Is that you doing all this striking, looking good, and you're just gonna go clinch up with a guy in RDR that's gonna reverse you eventually? Because I feel the RDR ground game is better, dude. So. Yeah, man. So that's the reason why, man. The 200 on RDR doesn't look too bad at this moment, but anything is possible. That's it right there, guys. Any wise, inspirational words or quotes for you guys? I always got some good ones for you here. Let me see if I can leave it with you guys here, man. Always It's pretty much the same thing. Always focus. Keep your mind focused, you know, on what you want. So whatever your goals are, whatever. I know that the goal that you set, you know, you can always change. And sometimes to get to that goal may not be the exact way that you felt that you needed to do to get to that goal. Sometimes you may have to go a different path. You may need to go left to go there. You may need to go right. You may need to go up. You may need to go, it just depends. You may need to go backwards a little bit to come back forward. But always keep your mind focused on it and never give up. That's the most important thing. Never give up. And always know that with all these goals to achieve and all these things, just keep in mind that the true goal is you. Meaning that you already have it already. But we're just playing this game, right? And if you want to create something for yourself to have, you know, just know that it's keep it simple. Keep it simple. Meaning that you don't need all these things. You don't need all these material things. Just keep the things that you can use and need at the moment. And these other things is just not important. Like, you know, you have a little house here, little land here. It's fine. It doesn't have to be a 10-bedroom house or $1 million house, whatever. Or you need 10 cars, you know, you know. You could use a bicycle, you could have one, you know what I'm saying? Just keep it simple. Know that it's a game that we're playing, and yeah, there's goals, but at the same time, eventually, all these things here that you have are going to leave you. You're not going to have it no more, eventually, because the body must go. Your vehicle that you're traveling in, the body, it has to go. Now, will you get a new vehicle? You know, that's sometimes the mystery. You know, but the energy is still around though, but it's going to be different than living a physical life, than having the human experience in the body. So, you know, you're dealing with the more spiritual side of things, right? So knowing that, yeah, you're working for these things, but keep it simple, man. You know, have more experiences, living your life than just existing, trying to chase material. You know what I'm saying? So it took me a while to learn this. So like for me, it's like going out to nature, doing meditation, fresh air, sunlight, exercising, going to the beach, going to the river, lakes, eating fruits and vegetables, just chilling out, man. Just enjoying life, enjoying the energy that I have in this body, and just enjoying the positivity, you know, enjoying the experience. You know, it's not me having like, you know, all these cars and this jewelry and all these houses that's going to make me happy, because it's not, believe me, because I used to have a lot more things, and when I used to have those things I was confused and never felt good having all these things. And now that I have less things and I tap into my inner self and I get to understand who I am more, get to know myself and what I'm dealing with, and how much of an illusion it is all around, and how much of just a game it is. You know what I mean? And all that stuff you're trying to gain, it's just gonna end up going to somebody else. You know, you can't take it with you as far as material, you know? So work on your inner self, work on the spiritual side of yourself, because that, going to the next step, the next chapter, that you can use. Alright, so that's pretty much it there, guys. Hopefully that helped you out. And one love out to everybody. And